but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman.
Hey, started out riding, man with the geezers with it. She didn't want to talk about the chick. All of them talks, my bad ass still ain't listen, was living, but taught me the ways that they.
Yo, you know it's my birthday. I gotta do my own sound effects, but we do have some round of applause. It is my 40th birthday. Here we are, live and in full effect. And you know I had to be late to my own birthday, y'all. So 12:30, psych. It is 12:42 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I am about 15 minutes late. But this is going to be like a mukbang style live stream. We are cracking open one of my favorites. So I'm having this for lunch. No, it was not free. So I did not get cash in on all my birthday freebies. I paid this full price. Shout out to someone who cash apped me, by the way. So that was really nice. And I'm going to do a few other shout outs. You know what? I just forgot one other thing that I wanted. Let me see something, you guys. Hold on. Because I wanted to put the cards behind me from everyone who sent me a card. And I forgot to grab that. So what can we put in a placeholder? All right, here we go.
Hey,
But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman.
hey, started out riding, man with the geezers with it. She didn't want to talk about the chick. All of them talks, my bad ass still ain't listen, was living, but taught me the ways that they.
All right. I meant to grab all of these and put them right here. I almost forgot. Thank you, everyone who joined me yesterday for my birthday dinner. Let me put my headset back on. I meant to do this part, you guys. Put the cards behind me. Thank you for everyone who joined me yesterday for my birthday dinner. Unbeknownst to me, my mother orchestrated the whole thing, so shout out to her. I'll talk about the cards in just a bit, but let me get this meal cracked open. And I wanted to make sure that we're sharing on Instagram too. That's the only other one that Instagram and Fanbase, the only two that I'm not able to stream directly into from StreamYard. And then, by the way, I'm going to also share with you the link so you guys could be in the live stream when I add you to the stage. But my mother yesterday told me on her way out the door to church, if you don't know, I live with my mother. Yes, 40 years old, living with my mom and my two kids. But anyway, she was on her way out the door and she told me, you know, we're going to have dinner at 3. And here I am like, dinner at 3, why? But she got home around 2:30 and I still wasn't ready. And I was like, well, you said dinner at 3. And so she, you know, got a little irritated at the fact that I wasn't ready. But, you know, get in the car. I told her I don't want to have a bad day. I want to have an amazing day. So I'm not going to argue about the fact that we were not on time. But we did make it a little after 3, probably 3:15, to the restaurant where we had reservations. Come to find out, it was a whole bunch of friends and family that were there to support me for my birthday. So thank you to my mother for putting the call out, because for me, I'm just very simple. As, you know, as I'm 40 years old, you kind of go through a few things in life and you just learn to just be very content, no matter what state, no matter what happens. Or at least some of us who've been through things and who has evolved through certain things, you don't let the small stuff sweat you. So if I had a party with multiple people, a shindig, a function, a dinner, if I was just by myself, like last year, I spent it by myself with my kids. I made myself a nice dinner because I think that's when our house flooded and we were living in a hotel. So you just thank God just for life and breath in your body, and you don't sweat the small stuff. So I would have been good without a party or a function, but I'm so happy that my mom did get some family and friends to join us and celebrate me yesterday for my birthday. And so I had a nice salmon dinner yesterday, caught up with a few of my friends and family. And I'm so proud of everybody in this season, even when it feels like on media, news, and outlets that we're in a world of chaos. The people that are closest to you, it's all hard, but we lean on each other and we all are still happy at the end of the day, right? Not letting the fatigue get to us, or at least being upfront about, okay, we're going through a lot, but still choosing happiness at the end of the day. So I'm just proud of us for that. I'm proud of us for everybody on their journey. It took the pandemic for some of us to start our own businesses, but now you see people thriving. So I just appreciated hearing from everybody, catching up with everyone. And again, for everyone who attended and came out, I'm going to read these cards in just a minute. But I'm also trying to make sure that I share the link. So for anyone who wants to join this live stream, I'm going to eat a little bit first. And then for any person who wants to join the live stream, they will. So let's see. So for anyone, I'm going to try to put this in the chat. I don't even think, yep, see. They're such haters. It won't let me take it off of private. So I don't even know who all can see this, but on YouTube, I hope you're watching. You can actually go to our website, plantapodcast.com. So on Facebook, they make it to where you have no one who's able to see it. I guess because they want to vet the live stream first. And so they won't make it public or allow it to be public until after. In some cases, I don't know. That's what I've been experiencing. But we have a backup. If you go to plantapodcast.com and you go to that website, on the website at the very top of the page tells you exactly how you can cash at me if you want to send me a love offering. It tells you how you can support through donations or merch purchases, because that money goes back into my community for the podcast peeps. And then it tells you how you can join the live stream. So join the live stream, come on stage, say hello. I would love to see your face. You can also do a voice note, and you can do that on the website as well, plantapodcast.com. So it's speak pipe, but you don't have to think hard. Just go to the website, and whether it's joining the live stream, leaving a voice note, or donating in some way, it's all up there for your reference. And I appreciate all of you. So speaking of speak pipe, I think we actually have a voice note. And then after that, I'm going to start eating. Shout out to all of my peeps, my podcast peeps, a special shout out to my brother Tango. So let's see. You received a voice note. Voice notes are really cool. Like I said, they're an easy way for you to stay engaged with your audience. They can leave you a voice note and you can play it on your podcast episode or your live stream. So here we go.
Yo, what up, girl? Happy Born Day. This is everybody's favorite Mega Tango Mega, your social media assassin and general menace to society. I just wanted to leave you a message and say, I hope this is the first. No, I know this is the first of many. We're going to do a lot of these together. So I think everything is falling apart without me. So I'm going to need to go find out what's going on. Happy birthday. Love you, girl. Peace.
Love you, Tango. Thank you, bro. You are so appreciated. And you guys, that's like my right-hand man. That's my right-hand man when it comes to this content journey, when it comes to the podcast peeps and building this community that we're building. We're just on to some amazing themes in the year 2020. 26 and beyond. So I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us. Let me see. Okay, perfect. And then last thing, I said I wanted to be on Instagram. I hope I don't have a use for my phone, any other use for my phone for today. But let's crack open this Philly cheesesteak. So shout out to Go Philly. As I said, they do not endorse me, but I do know Jason, grew up with Jason. Jason has been very instrumental in our community in terms of the things that he started and built for Tacoma. He started with his small he started, my son just, he knows I'm busy. So he's with his little self, almost 4 years old, just kind of like, keep going, girl. Don't worry about me. So he started with a small barber shop, and he used to do like catfish fries and everything for the community. And my brother and mom actually used to go. And then he built it up to his own barbershop school, and then he built it up to his own restaurants. And so I used to work for Go Philly, and that's how I started to love going back and returning for the Philly cheesesteak. Now, any restaurant that I go to, I'm only typically going to get one thing from off their menu. So no matter if it's Panera Bread or Go Philly or my favorite taco spot or my favorite fish house spot, it's always only one thing that I'm going to get off the menu. It's probably something to do with chicken, something to do with seafood, or it's this salad that I like, or it's this Go Philly cheesesteak. So I only get the pepper cheesesteak from Go Philly. Oh yeah, because I moved this. Baby, give mommy this coffee cup, please. The coffee right there. I only get the Go Philly cheesesteak. I mean, the pepper cheesesteak from Go Philly. The pepper cheesesteak has red peppers, bell peppers. You can add banana peppers. And then I only get the garlic fries. And today I got the drink. It's a little soggy. A little soggy. That's how you know it's good. Go watch your show.
That's right.
So I'm going to do a series that I think it's going to be about me doing a mukbang while also talking about some stuff in media. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think I did one version of it, and I featured a Go Philly cheesesteak. Yeah.
Now I very hungry.
I gave you pizza and I gave you grapes. Did you eat it all?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You want a bite of my sandwich? It's spicy, or you want some fries?
Fries.
Okay. Here. So this is the pepper cheesesteak. You guys, I'm on fan base up here, Instagram. You can't really, doesn't do it justice here on my computer. Someone once told me that I eat like I am angry. I got a serious look on my face. Okay. My birthday lunch. So this is my mukbang.
Hi.
Princeton is out of school this week until Thursday. That's not nice. They have conferences as they're wrapping up the school year. So, you want to try it?
Nope. I know it's too spicy.
Yeah, it's too spicy.
The fries not too spicy.
The fries are just right. The garlic fries. So let's see if we can read some of these cards.
I love you, Mom.
I love you, baby. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, you so handsome. Hey. Let me see. Thank you. Shout out to Ursula, who's an amazing presence on Fanbase and beyond. I know she has her own platform and she's very tapped into the culture. I love everything that she's curated on Fanbase in the social audio space that makes us all stay engaged and tapped in to culture, whether it's a music battle or showing us some Black history. I just love what she's curated. Hello. Shout out to Leonard and the other person that's here. I appreciate you for joining. Go to plantapodcast.com if you want to jump in on the live. Ursula's laughing. Hey. She said, hi, baby Princeton.
Hi.
Aw. But I can't even stop eating.
You did stop eating?
I'm making a mess and everything.
Yeah. Oh, me.
You guys, if I'm going to drink a soda, I drink ginger ale for the most part. I have slipped back up and started drinking Pepsis again. But Poppy, which is like the vinegar soda, ginger ale, Pepsi. Those are my top three. If I'm going to drink a soda, it's every now and again I'll drink that. But this, whenever I get this Go Philly, I need this pineapple Fanta. Some things you just cannot grow up from. They'll always forever be with you. What's up, Mr. Goins? Do you remember Mr. Aaron? A little bit?
Yes.
Have you ever been to Go Philly, Aaron? Since you're out here, thank you. In a minute, I'm going to talk podcasting and AI, but right now I'm eating. You said nice glasses, sir.
Thank you.
Let me hear your rap.
Hey. Oh, yeah.
Yesterday, my cousin's wife asked me, shut up. Okay, perfect. I used to work for Go Philly. So I would work at Go Philly. I would work at DaVita, which is, if you don't know, dialysis center. And I would do the billing for the the medical side for DaVita. And then right up the hill, I would clock out of DaVita and go to my second job at Go Philly. And I did that for a little while, maybe a year or a little less before I moved to Las Vegas. Excuse me. But I'm doing my mukbang birthday stream right now. So this was not meant to be cutesy. This was meant to be mukbang style. But I used to work for Go Philly, and we would have all the like 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s vibe. Earth, Wind, and Fire, Luther, everybody. It was a vibe. What's up? Thank you for tuning in to the birthday live stream. You are all appreciated. If you want to tap in and join us on the live, go to planapodcast.com, and it's going to take you directly to the link where you can actually join the live stream. If you want to leave a voice note for us to play it, please just go to planapodcast.com and do a speak. I keep forgetting it. A speak pipe note. It's a voice note on the website, planapodcast.com. Yes. When I was pregnant, I used to watch the lady that would always do the crab boil mukbang. She had like millions of views. And because you're not supposed to technically eat shellfish when you're pregnant, I was vicariously living through her in her live stream because she was tearing that seafood up. But I still ate seafood, but I just didn't eat it as much. But if I had to pick a meal, it would probably be a crab boil. Crab boil. And if it was my last meal, it would probably be a crab boil. That's what I'm trying to say. I just love seafood. Salmon. I don't go far off the deep end. The most exotic thing that I had was escargot. If you don't know what that is, snail. That was the most exotic thing that I've eaten. Another fun fact about me, I don't eat anything white. I might eat some ice cream, but I don't eat mayo, Miracle Whip. I don't eat ranch. I don't eat Caesar salad dressing. Boy, you keep messing up my life dropping these glasses. Where's your swag? I don't drink milk. Cheese and ice cream. That's about all I can do. And it has nothing to do with the dairy. I just can't stomach or stand the smell of ranch, mayo. Oh, gross. Cottage cheese, sour cream. Y'all, this was good. So I hope you guys are all enjoying your day. I am. I'm going to stop eating now and save the second half for later. I'm going to do some AI and podcasting content. What else should we do, Prince? I'm going to read these cards behind me because everyone that gave me a card, I want to make sure that you know how much I appreciate you. Thank you for the gifts. I think I got about $200 yesterday, so I appreciate you. Oh, no. Sour cream is yucky. I cannot. No.
What?
Don't put no sour cream on my nachos. Don't put no mayo on my sandwich, on my burger, on my chicken salad. Sandwich. I don't eat chicken salad. No.
What?
Okay.
What's
So,
those? What is?
my cards for my birthday.
Oh.
Okay, so shout out to CBiz TV Media. Make sure you follow them on Instagram. She said, sour cream is everything. What are you drinking? I don't know if she means like, what am I drinking because I don't agree that sour cream is the best, or if she's asking me because of this drink, what am I drinking? But this is a Fanta pineapple soda. And my meal is from Go Philly, based here in Lakewood, Washington. I've never eaten a shark or a Shrek. Nope, never eaten shark. I told you the most exotic thing I had was escargot. Other than that, it's just squid, crab in terms of seafood. Excuse me. So this card says, thinking of you on your birthday, just as you're thought of so warmly all year. With many wishes for a wonderful day, a happy year ahead, and all the very best things. Always, this is from my older cousin, Danielle, and her husband, Corey. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Next card.
What is it?
It says, God made you so special. The warmth in your words, the strength in your spirit, the kindness in your smile. Celebrating you and all the things that make you more wonderful every year. Happy birthday. Always, Miss Barbara. Shout out to Miss Barbara. Shout out to Miss Barbara. She, you know what? She goes to my mother's church, the one that I was born and raised in practically. And I don't think we really met and had a lot of conversations at church. It's just that by way of my mom, she found me on social media, and she and I just been connected ever since. I know this year and the past couple of years have been hard for her and her family, so I appreciate her showing up just because so many personal losses. But she just is a sweet spirit, and just like you don't necessarily need to know any person close up just for you to cheerlead them and support them from afar. So she's a big cheerleader and supporter of them. Got to go, but happy birthday. But what are we talking about this week? I don't know. You know what? If you guys are not tapped into the World Cup and FIFA, you definitely need to get tapped in. Go visit my website, hostcityhustle.com. And Host City Hustle is my second podcast with my co-host, Aaron Goins. I know he's been out in the field traveling and connecting all of the sports conventions and stuff out there in Las Vegas. He's been tapped in with. So make sure you go visit Host City Hustle just to stay informed, because there's a lot of things happening for Host City Hustle and the World Cup. Okay, you're going to have to get out my live stream, bro. You're doing too much. Okay, so thank you, Barbara. Next, I loved this one. You're one of the Gouda ones for the Gouda cheese, but, good personality-wise. You cheddar believe it. Just a cheesy wish for a happy birthday. Wishing you blessings on top of blessings from Miss Don and Chili. God bless them. Okay, 3 live stream videos. Is that what you mean? Recapping what you did at the convention or what? And it says, I'm doing 3 videos this week. I've seen you've been doing your videos and your lives already. So I love this card. First of all, she has her own food truck, and I'm just so proud of her. Our families are also connected by way of the church. We've known her for about 20 years at this point. And I just appreciate who she is, her heart, her spirit of generosity, and I appreciate just how genuine she is. And she and I could be working together very soon. So shout out to Miss Dawn. She's been a blessing, and we appreciate her. All right. Here we go. Another card. The world is a little brighter today because it's your birthday. Have a happy birthday, Dea. Dea, another person from church. She and I are very close in age, and probably personality. I'm probably a lot more wild than she is. But in terms of being ducked off and focused into herself and taking care of business, and then just like, kind of like that mystiqueness that she has to her, I grew up with. So in that way, we're pretty similar. But I just like her vibe, and we've always just kikied and supported each other, even though we weren't like close friends. She's always someone that I love looking forward to when I revisit my mom's church. And she came out to support me yesterday. So shout out to her. Here's the other one. Princeton is really happy birthday with a little extra happy on top. Wishing you a year full of blessings, unforgettable moments, and good times. Remember to take some moments just for you. From Lakeisha and Amaya, another mom my age. She's already in her 40s, but our kids were born very close. And she's my cousin's sister, by way of I think, adoption and just extended family. There's one more. Hope your birthday is a day to enjoy and celebrate all the blessings in your life, and to know that friends and family will be celebrating the blessing that is you. May God bless you with many more years. So proud of the woman you became, Miss Marge. Miss Marge, she's always been my champion, my supporter, my avid supporter, and just anytime she sees me has always been so sweet and encouraging. And I used to, what's that? A heart. Thank you. She's a part of the Black women's leader. No, I don't even think it's Black. I just think it's women's in health. She's always been a part of that organization, and that's where I got closer to her, but she's also from my mother's church. And then I know that the Women in Leaders Help just went to a cruise in Alaska. So we were talking about that. But yeah, those are the cards that I received. But I received, shout outs on Facebook. There were other people who attended yesterday that didn't grab a card, and that's perfectly okay. They still probably gave me some cash, so I appreciate them. I had a list of people, but you guys can go see the post on my Facebook page to figure out who was present, who shouted me out, who gave. Just your presence alone was so appreciated. Okay, get down. You're doing too much. I'm already doing too much, and here you come doing the most. All right. Peace. Get down. You said peace already. Hello. Okay. So, every day I have this, go watch your own show. Goodbye. Every day I have this sent to me via email. It's just something to keep me abreast of all of the updates regarding podcasting and AI. So I'm just reading this off to you. But normally I am live 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time through 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and the like. So I'm normally live talking about AI and podcasting related things. So if you are not on top of those things, definitely tap in with me and I'll keep you abreast of all information. So starting with creator-led media companies are continuing to outpace traditional entertainment and audience attention. Advertisers' upfront presentations are increasingly allocating budgets toward YouTube creators and podcast personalities instead of cable TV. I need something to drink. Video podcasting remains the dominant growth engine. Industry analysts say podcast discoverability is now primarily driven through YouTube Shorts, TikTok clips, Instagram Reels, Spotify video podcasts. So that means Thank you. I was doing, shout out to Raven from Let It Be Said Pod. I was doing a mukbang earlier. So I'm still drinking my pineapple Fanta for my mukbang. AI generated pod slop is becoming one of the hottest debates in podcasting. More creators are criticizing fully automated AI podcasts, flooding platforms with low quality content. Newsletter and podcast ecosystems continue becoming the strongest monetization strategy for independent creators, especially creators building owned audiences outside of algorithm dependency. That should be the word that we use for today. Algorithm dependency. Let's see. Bye, fan base. Because I want to use this phone. Algorithm dependency. Let's listen to chat tell us what algorithm dependency is, even though we can assume what it is. I want us to kind of dive deeper into that. Because I do believe in being platform agnostic, meaning you're not just stuck on one platform, but you're building across platforms. But this is saying algorithm dependency. Hey, chat, what does algorithm dependency mean?
Hey, Danny, you've got a lot of irons in the fire, but I'm here for it. What's on your mind? Are we tackling baked potatoes, podcast pals, or something new that's bubbling up?
No, I want to know the definition of algorithm dependency.
Algorithm dependency is when you rely heavily on algorithms, like those on social media, search engines, or streaming platforms, to determine what content you see, who sees your content, or even how you make decisions. In other words, the algorithm is calling the shots, and your choices, visibility, or outcomes are stuck depending on it.
What are the pros and cons of being algorithm dependent?
Well, one pro is that algorithms can amplify your reach. If you play to them, you can suddenly land in front of a big audience. Another plus, it can take the guesswork out of what might work because algorithms are data-driven. The downside, you're not in control. The algorithm can shift overnight, leaving you scrambling. Plus, you might end up creating for the algorithm rather than for your actual audience or values. In short, it's a powerful tool, but you never want to be its puppet.
So then what is the happy medium?
The sweet spot is using the algorithm as a tool, not a master. You create content true to your brand and audience, but you strategically adapt without losing your authenticity. So sure, stay aware of trends, tweak your timing or format if needed, but don't abandon your core message. That way, if the algorithm shifts, you shift with it, but you aren't lost without it.
Okay. So just basically things that I talk about already is like having a nice balance between the systems, building your own community on the side, but still also using the social media platforms for leverage. So you're going to build up your community across platforms, and then you're going to invite them to your own exclusive community, whether that's on your website, your email list, or what have you. It's keeping that rhythm and flow. Because the only way you're going to meet your audience is if you meet them on social media platforms. Show up where they're at. Just like dating or meeting new friends, you have to go outside to meet them. You have to frequent the spaces that they frequent. So go to the hangout spots, whether that is Pinterest, Etsy, YouTube, any open forums. Go to where they're at and bring them to where you are. And that's how it works. All right. And then Hold on, y'all. I told you every time I'm live, I will do one small subtle change, and then all of a sudden, everything is just discombobulated on my it's like someone's trying to sabotage me every time I go live, because I don't know why this happens every time. Maybe I just need to open another chat GPT. But like I'll scroll up using my arrow, and then when I try to scroll back down, I'm no longer where I need to be at all. The way to combat that is probably to create a Word document of my notes instead of just relying solely on opening my ChatGPT notes. I need to copy and paste everything and put it on a Word document. So even if it is scrambled or gets sifted around somehow, I know Word won't necessarily do that to me. I think that this is probably almost out of capacity with all the threads in this particular chat. It's probably the reason why it's like acting haywire. Okay, so then going back to algorithm dependency, newsletter and podcast ecosystems continue becoming the strongest monetization strategy for independent creators. So yeah, it's great to, like I said, use all of the other platforms, but you should also be building something of your own as well. Going to AI news, product launches, investments, and major developments, Google continues expanding Gemini integration across search, Android, and creator discovery tools. Industry experts increasingly believe AI assistants will become the next recommendation engine, replacing traditional search behavior. So let me ask ChatGPT. I forgot what the 3-letter acronyms are. Okay, hopefully you can try to decipher what I'm trying to say, but I know that there's a new term, 3 letters, for defining what has now become SEO. The conversation around SEO has expanded since we now have AI. I don't know what the 3-letter word is.
I think you might be referring to AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. With AI-driven search and chatbots like Gemini or ChatGPT, it's not just about ranking a web page anymore, it's about being the trusted, concise answer that AI tools pull up. In other words, it's the new game for getting your content surfaced in AI responses.
So what's your best advice as a podcaster or a content creator, especially one who has a podcast and then repurposing that content into blogs? What's the best way to work in AEO into your content so that you're constantly at the top of the search?
First, be crystal clear with the questions you're answering in your podcast and blog. AI thrives on pulling direct, concise answers. Make sure each piece of content addresses common questions or problems in your niche. Next, structure your blog posts and podcast show notes with clear headings, bullet point answers, and summaries. When AI scrapes content, it loves structured, easy to digest info. Finally, repurpose snippets as FAQ-style content, like short video clips, audio answers, or blog sections. You want AI and users to find you as the best answer in multiple formats.
So where does that leave people who are professional SEO? They provide SEO as a service. How are they now having to compete with the AEO?
They're still in the game, just evolving. Instead of only optimizing for keywords and ranking on traditional search, they'll need to optimize for AI systems to choose their content as the best answer. So they'll be crafting authoritative, trustworthy content, making it easy for AI to parse. In short, they'll shift from chasing search rankings to ensuring their clients are seen as trusted, concise authorities that AI can confidently present to users. In other words, they'll be optimizing for human-like answers, not just clicks.
So then how do you properly vet someone who specializes in both when you're hiring someone to do the work for you?
Look for someone who talks beyond just keywords and backlinks. Ask how they approach content for conversational AI and how they'd ensure your brand is the trusted voice for answers. Have them show examples of past work where they've optimized both for search engines and for AI-driven tools. If they're already thinking in terms of answer quality, structured content, and repurposing across platforms, you've likely found a keeper. And trust your gut. If they can explain it clearly, they probably know their stuff.
And when do you know AEO is working?
You'll know it's working when AI tools start pulling your content as the go-to response. If you're seeing your answers or snippets featured in AI-driven search results, or you're being cited in voice responses, that's a big indicator. You'll also notice increased engagement on the content that answers direct questions, and people finding you when they seek expertise. In short, when you start seeing yourself as the answer, you've nailed it.
How long do you think it will take for AEO to start recognizing your work?
It's not instant. Think months, not weeks. Once you consistently structure content to provide direct, authoritative answers, it might take a few months of consistent content output. AI models adapt based on updated sources and user interactions. So the more you become that trusted source, the more they'll pick you up. Be patient, keep your content sharp, and over time, you'll be in the AI's answer roster.
So knowing everything about me in terms of all my projects that we talked about in the past, and also especially focused on podcasting, what are some examples of topics that could also be, I guess, dually purposed so that it makes for a good blog, but also something that falls in line with AEO?
For you, I'd hit practical, searchable questions that your audience genuinely asks. For example, how do I monetize my podcast in 2026 is both a podcast episode and a blog post. Or what's the best tech setup for a home-based content creator? It's searchable, answers directly, and positions you as the authority. How do I balance parenting and podcasting? Taps into your niche and can be broken down into actionable answers. Perfect for AEO.
All right, thank you. Can you give me maybe 20 to 52 more of these examples?
I love a good challenge, but let's keep this digestible. Here's a hearty handful. How do I grow my podcast audience without ads? How do I create an AI-friendly podcast script? What are the top tools for solo podcasters in 2026? How do I batch record content as a busy parent? What's the best way to turn podcast episodes into blogs? How can I use AI to edit my podcast efficiently? How do I get my kids involved in content creation? What's the future of podcast monetization? How do I pitch colleges for podcast partnerships? How do I manage a content calendar across podcasts and blog platforms? I could go on, but each of these hits a real question, makes for a rich podcast, and is perfect for AI to pick up on.
No, that's pretty good. I appreciate that. The last thing I think I was going to ask is, you know what? Don't worry about it. Thank you. That was good. If you don't know and you're just catching up, this is my 40th birthday live stream. I was eating my pepper cheesesteak earlier. I'm going to probably eat some more, the second half of it. So that's why I'm drinking my pineapple Fanta. I was eating my garlic fries. I'm just picking out for my 40th birthday doing my live stream. I read from all of the cards that I received for my birthday dinner yesterday. And now I'm talking to ChatGPT while also covering what I would cover normally Monday through Friday, which is AI updates, product launches, investments, major developments, and podcasting related news. And so one of the things that kind of stopped me in my tracks was learning about AEO. So the conversation is now evolving from SEO. Search engine optimization is basically using blogs to, I'm not even going to try to butcher it. Let's go back. SEO. By the way, explain SEO.
Take care, Danny. We'll chat soon.
I was asking you to explain SEO. Could you explain SEO again? Can you explain SEO?
SEO stands for search engine optimization. It's basically the art of making your content easier for search engines like Google to find and rank. It involves using the right keywords, making sure your site is technically sound, and providing valuable content so that when people search for topics you cover, you pop up near the top. In short,
so SEO is like Google scraping the internet for your content. If you do it a really good job, like if you provide services, but you also have a blog on the same website as your services, they can find your website easier. When Google scrapes the internet for answers, if you do a good job of structuring your content in your blogs, then you're essentially one of the ones that are on the top of Google search. Now, AEO is like when AI, like using ChatGPT, is scraping the internet, same thing. So that's the newer conversation. And it's not that the SEO people are no longer going to have a job. It's just that with SEO, they now need to start adding AEO as well. So helping you work on your AEO strategy. So if you ever hire someone to do your SEO for you, the way you should vet these people is asking them, do they know anything about AEO as well? You should hire people who are now implementing AI strategies also, not just SEO. So we were talking about that. We're also going to go right back into our AI talk, but in a minute, I'm going to go back to eating my pepper cheesesteak as well. So also AI infrastructure investment continues exploding globally. The data centers, the AI chips, the energy systems, the AI cloud computing all remain top investment categories. Now, why is this important? If you are someone who invests and you are into the Dow, the market, you should know about what tickers to look for. You should know what's happening in the market. I do know, like with let's ask ChatGPT. So chat, for every person that uses ChatGPT, how does that impact our water systems? Honestly.
Every time you run AI models like ChatGPT, they're processed in data centers, which consume electricity, and indirectly that means water. Power plants often use water for cooling, and data centers sometimes use water directly to cool servers. The more complex the query, or the more people using it, the more energy and cooling are needed. It's not a massive impact per query, but scale it up globally, and yeah, there's definitely a water footprint.
So another reason that we need to kind of like be mindful, because yeah, our water is being impacted. And how does that impact in the long run? Just for one query, we're using so much water. So thinking about how AI is impacting us, not just work and labor and industries, but also, our water supply and everything else. So the data centers, the chips, the energy systems, the AI cloud computing, those are things to be mindful of and then pay close attention to in the news, in the market, and everything. Also, AI creator tools focused on editing, clipping, AI agents, audience analytics, automated content workflows. They continue to attract major funding rounds. All right, so you guys know I love to also pay attention to the top 1% podcast chart movers so you know who your competition is. If you're a podcaster, it's not okay for you to just say, there's nobody out there like me. Yes, you might have a niche and you have something that's special about your podcast, but you still have at the surface, at the core, there's still a category that you fall under. And you need to know who the people in your category are. So you know what's working, what's not working, and you try to find yourself at the top or somewhere in the middle. But the top movers across Apple Podcasts and Spotify, actually the Mel Robbins podcast made it to the #1 chart. The Diary of a CEO, New Heights, Call Her Daddy, and the Joe Rogan Experience. And by the way, this has been the top 1% for a very long time, which is why I love doing what I do, because I feel like there isn't a lot of representation for persons of color. So I strongly believe that we should be doing more advocacy work around, the marginalization in numbers for the top podcasters. And we should support one another, even if we can't get Spotify or Apple to care. We should be supporting one another to help one another move to the top of the algorithms. One of the major trends is human first podcasts with strong personalities that are outperforming overproduced media brands. Another noticeable shift, clips are now functioning as the real discovery funnel, while full episodes serve retention and monetization. So how often are you putting out new clips? I read somewhere you should be doing at least 2 reels a day, and it's not just exclusive to one podcast platform. It's not exclusive to just one social media platform, but it's across the board, multi-platforms. That's what it means to be platform agnostic. You should be doing your content and clipping it everywhere. And then I was listening to Gary Vee say, not only should you be doing your clips everywhere, but you should be doing them on YouTube as well. So whatever you do on social media, you should also do on YouTube, and that helps you with your AEO. If they can follow the breadcrumbs back to you, the more that they can do that, it always helps you in the long run. So make sure you guys are doing your due diligence. It's not enough to just do the clips to one platform, but leave the breadcrumbs in your keywords, in your captions, in your cliff notes, and then all across social media platforms. Upcoming conferences. I know the podcast summit is coming. David Shands is doing something July 2nd, so make sure you check him out. The podcast show in London, I don't know if that has already passed. And the podcast movement. Also On Air Fest, which I think happened in February, so I don't know why that keeps showing up. The word of the day is owned audience. Owned audience. Let me add this to the vocab word of the day. Thank you for everybody watching. Remember, you can support me and support this live by going to plantopodcast.com, scrolling at the bottom. And you can actually donate. You can buy some merch. If you purchase merch, we use that money to help feed back into our ecosystem and support some of our podcast peeps, those people who are just starting their podcast and they need new equipment or whatever we can do to support our community. So all the merch sales go right back to supporting podcast peeps, and we appreciate you in advance. You can go to plantopodcast.com to get your merch. You can go to Planet Podcast to jump on the live stream. You can go to plantopodcast.com to donate to It Is I, DaniMarie, my Cash App or my PayPal. But whatever you do, even if it's just saying hello in the chat, we appreciate you. And I'm going back to my Gmail so I can play the audio that Tango left. Remember, you can also do your version of your speak pipe. So leave a voice recording in my email box and I will play it live on the live stream. Let's see. Yesterday, let's see, what podcast did I listen to? I was just this morning listening to something David Shands was doing, a young lady talking about content creation. Yesterday, I didn't watch too many podcasts, I don't think. I think I watched Ebony Williams on the Go Off podcast. Ebony Williams, you guys got to go find out who that is, but she was on the Real Housewives of New York back in 2020. But she's been on the Griot Media Network. She's been on the Breakfast Club. I think she has her own show as a lawyer. She she's been around for a while. But she was on the Go Off podcast yesterday talking about her decision to become a single mom. You know, you might remember her back in the day when she was asked, I think Iyanla Van Zandt asked her if she would marry a bus driver. And she had a viral comeback. She was like, if he owns the bus company. And everybody was up in arms about that because they thought that it was unfair for her to be judging bus drivers or saying that she doesn't want anybody that's only a bus driver. But as a woman of her caliber and of her age, in her 40s, you know, she wants someone who's established. I don't understand what the whole debate was about that. But anyway, she wants a high figure earner. She's a high figure earner, someone who is her equal. I don't know what the problem is. But shout out to Tango for leaving this voice message.
Yo, what up, girl? Happy Born Day. This is everybody's favorite Mecca, Tango Mecca, your social media assassin.
Wait, I got to give a round of applause to that. Shout out to Tango.
I just wanted to leave you a message and say, I hope this is the first. No, I know this is the first of many. We're going to do a lot of these together. So I think everything is falling apart without me. So I'm going to need to go find out what's going on. But happy birthday. Love you, girl. Peace.
That's my guy. Last week we had a podcast meetup. So if you don't know, we have a podcast meetup every Saturday. And on our podcast meetup, we invited a special guest who's also our partner, Too Hot Radio. So shout out to DJ Outlet. DJ Outlet talked to the group about what does it mean to be a syndicated podcast. Because as someone who has his own radio station, own radio platform, he knows a thing or two. And now he's building his own music label with a very well-renowned person in the culture, in the hip-hop culture space, in the media space. I believe he's a music artist. So they're building out their own label. But one of the things we pitched to them about back in November was the same thing that you do for music artists is the same thing that you can do for podcasters. And even though you're not well-versed and you don't know much about podcasting, you have a platform of so many people from what you've built in your email list, like 10,000 plus people. You have access to so many people that I think they might want to start their own podcast. You're seeing a lot of music artists, Fabulous, Jim Jones, Dave East, Jadakiss, Joe, Fat Joe, Joe Budden. They all have moved into the podcasting space. Noriega, they all moved into podcasting and now they're finding a lot of success. Wallow and Gilly. Okay, go. Stand up and do it. Lift it up. You got this. So Wallow and Gilly, they're all moving into podcasting and they're seeing a lot of success. And so we said with Too Hot Radio, same thing. Music artists, they might want to start their own podcast. And we can help you do that. And for all of our podcasters, we believe you should add another channel to the radio station that's just for podcasting. So we can have our own 24-hour around-the-clock network with Too Hot Radio. So that's something that we're working on. And so for him to come on and talk to the group about syndication, everybody appreciated that. We put that blog out. You can go to podcastpeeps.com and I'll put that in the chat or I'll put that in the, the chat. Visit podcastpeeps.com for more information. We have the link to the last vlog, excuse me. What do you do when you get some weird lint in your mouth in the middle of your live? So visit the website podcastpeeps.com and visit the last live. We have the replay available and you guys can learn a thing or two about syndication. But Yeah, that was our conversation last week. I think this week we're probably going to do something along the lines of auditing each other's podcast episodes. So maybe break out into small groups, but you're more than welcome to join us. You can register on luma.com. I mean, on our website, Podcast Peeps. You don't even have to go to Luma. And be a part of our ongoing meetup every Saturday, 7 a.m. PST, 10 a.m. EST. And I'm updating it right now because I just remembered that it has last week's date. So I'm updating this right now. You guys can't see what I'm doing because this is not for you to see, but I just don't want you guys to visit the website without me making the change. But basically it has the old date from last week. So we need to change it. But yeah, any given week in our podcast meetup group, we could be talking about, the wins and woes of podcasting. We can be talking about syndication. We can be talking about people who are nasty in your comment section and how to handle all of that. We could just be talking about a number of things. So that is updated. That is May 23rd. Some of you guys could be traveling because of Memorial Day weekend. Okay, let's revisit our AI and updates. So, did I already put the owned audience vocabulary? I'm all over the place. Sorry. Owned audience, yes. Owned audience, the simple definition is an audience you can directly contact without depending on social media algorithms. So we talked about that. We talked about the value of owning your audience. Owning your audience means your own email list, your own community. Not my community is on Facebook, because Facebook, like it just did to me in February, took me away from my group. If you go to Facebook and you look up the group Podcasting for Newbies, the group is no more. It closed as of February of 2026. So we had to build another group. But again, if you have your own email list, notifying everyone, staying in touch with everyone, and all of those things is easier if you have your own group. So email list is key. I know I built my email list to date through Substack, but also when you offer something for free and you collect emails, if you have an ebook, you can collect emails. Sometimes I'll do like an email campaign for 30 days. And if you want to be a part of the 30-day email campaign, I need your email list. And then I make sure that they understand I'll send them more information about podcasting somewhere along the lines, even after the 30 days is up. But the best way to do that is through a newsletter, is through a MailChimp, is through a Substack. So you can build out your email list, and you should do that by offering something for free in return for someone's email list. And some people are like a little fatigued of, reaching out through email. Now their email's overloaded with a whole bunch of spam. But if you can use it and not abuse it, you can keep your people on your email list. Like I probably lost maybe 60 people out of my years of doing this. So I think what I do is valuable. Sometimes I get in this place where I'm like, course. So I'm talking about, things in people's email that maybe they don't care for all of the time. So maybe that's how I lost the 60. But at least the people who it's not for are seeing their way out, and they're no longer a part of my email list. But for the most part, many people have stayed. So I've built my email list to like 460 so far, and I haven't been doing much. So I'm happy about that number. And of course, as we continue to do more work, we'll still be adding to that number, and the email list will grow. But I've been very intentional about how I reach out to people and not trying to just throw stuff out there like I was doing in the past, but actually stay in touch with people and be valuable to people. So owned audience, an audience you can directly contact without depending on social media. That might be your email list. Even better, a text message list. Because now people aren't checking their email as much. They're checking their text messages. Kylie Kelsey continues trending after her viral podcast of the year acceptance speech at the Weebie Awards. So women supporting women, go birds. I know with the Weebie Awards, you can only say 5 things in your speech. So women supporting women, go birds. Podcast conversations continue centering around authenticity, creator burnout, fame versus integrity, parasocial relationships. Now that one was another one that I wanted to look up. So let me ask, what does parasocial mean? If you know what it means, tell us in the comments because we want to learn. That's why we're all here. We're learning together while my birthday live stream is still in full effect for the next 40 minutes or so. So let's go back to ChatGPT. Hey, chat, there's another word I came across that I really don't know anything about. So I'm curious, what does it mean? Parasocial relationships.
A parasocial relationship is a one-sided bond where someone feels emotionally connected to a public figure, like a celebrity, influencer, or podcaster, even though the figure doesn't know them personally. Think of fans who feel like they're friends with a TV host because they followed them for years. It's natural, but it's also important to remember it's not mutual. They're not actually in your life, even if they feel like it.
So all the people who are stans of Kim Kardashian or stans of Drake, these celebrities don't know you, but you love them, and that's good. We love that for you. But that's what a parasocial relationship is, an internet dependency. Most entertainment and creator podcasts are discussing the emotional cost of virality and whether creators are becoming trapped by audience expectations. Ooh, that is a good one, because the moment you don't do what your audience wants anymore, they're willing to kick you to the curb. By the way, shout out to all of you watching for my birthday live stream. I appreciate you. You can visit plantopodcast.com if you want to join me live on stage just to say hello. You can also do a speak pipe voice note. Send it to me and I will play it on the live stream. You can even shout out your own podcast or drop your messages in the chat and I will put them across the screen as well. But I see a few of you are watching. Just know you are appreciated. I am 40 today, May 18. And if you ask me, actually I think I was talking about this. My cousin's wife now, she asked me what's going to be different in my 40s. And usually I have an answer, but I didn't have an answer. I'm just like, ooh, God has so many ways of humbling me. Things that I thought I would be doing, I'm not doing. I'm not where I want to be. But what it has taught me in the past couple of years is to be still, disarm myself, be in full obedience, is to leave my stubbornness behind. That's what's been a part of me being stagnant, getting in my own way, getting into so much trouble mentally, financially, to where now, I have to make up for all of the things that I did in the past. Mentally blocking myself and getting in my own way from my own success and the things that I know God has for me. So now I'm just in a place where for a very long time, I've had this muzzle on. I've had to just be very still, very quiet, very patient, hear from God, lose everything, scale back. Everything that I said I wanted to do, the way that I envisioned it happening, God just put a full halt on all of that. The things that I said I would never do, I'm doing, like putting my kids in public school. So there were a few things that were preventing me from moving forward, whether it's something that I did in my past that caught up with me or something in my present that I was just so stubborn blocking my own blessings and getting in the way, that now I try not to say what the plans that I have, or at least I have it here and I have it here, but I'm not just speaking it out loud, because I'm not just throwing pearls out there to be cast away.
This is the Noah.
Yep, she lives in our home apartments, our community. Hold on, let's see. I'm not going to do a full close-up, but this is Pierre's school picture that Princeton just brought over to me. So again, speaking about my kids, I posted a video on my feed the other day because I was watching this old video that I did with my mother on the Mother and Daughter Duo podcast. And I'm laughing at myself because I was talking about how I never put my kids in public education. And then to see that video and now see my kids in school, God will humble you. I just wanted to be a homeschooling mom, a world schooling mom, meaning taking my kids out in the world to experience things. And we just did not get to doing it. Not to say we won't ever do it, but right now I'm in a different season where I have to be still. I have to hear from God and know that it's Him and let Him order my steps, because everything that I was doing was getting in my own way and getting into this very convoluted web that has caused me to be very stagnant. So even in my 40s, I'm not where I need to be financially. I'm not where I need to be emotionally. I'm not where I need to be physically. This next season of my life, I don't have all of the answers, but I'm just asking God to lead me. It feels so good nowadays to just be at home, even though I feel like I'm not out there in the world doing what I need to do. I'm supposed to be where I am, here, hearing from God, working from home, being able to create an environment for myself and for my children that isn't as traumatic, because my experiences in life are very traumatic, very toxic. So now I have peace. I'm in my soft girl era. Though I'm not doing all of the soft girl era stuff, it doesn't need to be everything that's physical. It just means the inner work, the healing, speaking with myself, sitting with myself, loving on myself, nurturing my children, feeding my spirit that way. And then everything else will come. So this season of my life, I want to do more hobbies that are outside of podcasting, like tennis. I know my cousin and his wife are trying to get me to do golf with them. Maybe, but I think tennis is kind of more my speed. I don't want to do anything else that's slowing me down. I want to be emotion. I want to be active. Even though I know golf is still an active sport. But tennis is a little more active. And I recently found a tennis community that I want to be a part of, more traveling. So every quarter, meeting up with my podcast peeps, I want to do more in-person events and local events for my podcast community here that's in the Pacific Northwest. I want to work with more conferences. So last year was my first time working with 2 conferences, helping them on the social media marketing and podcasting side. And now I want to continue to work with other conferences to help them do the same thing. And so we're reaching out to a conference happening in North Carolina in August. And we may or may not be going out there to help with their conference. But that's just very nearsighted, some of my small goals that I plan to accomplish in the very next couple of months. This is a lot of talking. One hour I could do. 2 hours, I'm not even close. I don't know why I'm not close. Because I said 2:30 and it says I'm only been live for an hour and 30 minutes. So about 45 minutes. Whew. 45 minutes. Let's see who else is in the comment section. Let me do this. You guys, again, go to planapodcast.com if you want to donate, if you want to buy merch, or if you want to join me on the live stream. Show comments on stage. Yes. Ooh, what's up, Tess? I hope I never get that big or famous. Real relationships only. I know. A part of me says, oh, I see what they mean. So I never tried that feature where there's that little box that shows it literally on stage. But shout out to Tez. Make sure you follow and support him on YouTube and across other platforms. But yeah, a part of me sometimes I want to get that renowned, but still remain humble, just because I want to reach more people. But at the same time, I'm very content with, like, there's a lot of responsibilities that come with having a big platform. And any day you can rub your community the wrong way and they're ready to stone you. And it just comes with a lot of hate. It comes with a lot of toxicity. It comes with a lot of, praise, a lot of power. I say power very loosely because people feel like, they don't have to pay for things anymore. They don't have to go the scenic route to get what they want in life anymore. Everything is just kind of given to them on a silver platter. That power can get to your head. It can, cause this ripple effect, of so many other negative things. With more money, more problems. But then you can also look at it very positive. But I just don't think that I do think I'm disciplined because of everything that I've been through. I think I'm disciplined, but I don't think I'm that disciplined. There's still a few things I can learn. And I know that that's part of the reason why God has not yet blessed me with certain things, is because there's still things that I need to learn before he will. I haven't been the best steward over the things that God has given me. That's what I want to say. So I need to get better at that. And that's why God has taken me through this season, to get better at that. Let me see. Because I'm still not able to share the live, which is so frustrating. I wanted to share it in my group. But it's making my live private. Shout out to you guys again watching on Twitch. Shout out to you guys watching on YouTube, LinkedIn. This is just me literally rambling today because it's my 40th birthday. So I'm sharing this to the group. If you're not a member of our group, you can join our group. It is called Podcast Peeps on Facebook. But you can also go to our website, podcastpeeps.com, for more information. All right, so this year, as I'm turning 40, I'm not taking myself too seriously. It's God's time, God's will, his path. Just want to be in full alignment, and total obedience, draw closer to him, pick up more hobbies, read more, work out more, things that, are just for me developing as a person. 40 is still the new 20s, right? So there's still so much life left, God willing. So I just pray to turn things around in my 40s that are things to help me build a legacy I'm proud of for me and my children. Let's go back to some of this AI news. So traditional news, Okay. Traditional media is officially sounding the alarm on creator journalism. Former BBC News head Deborah Turnus warned broadcasters that creators on YouTube, TikTok, and Substack are rapidly becoming audiences, prefer news and commentary sources over legacy media. So now I've been reporting on this, but what I did not hear before this is you never heard an actual news anchor or a journalist actually say this out of their mouths, like, hey, you guys, wake up. There's creators that are coming for our jobs. But now you have Deborah Turnus, who warned broadcasters that creators on YouTube, TikTok, and Substack are rapidly becoming audiences' preferred news and commentary sources over legacy media. So let me see if I can find that. Deborah Turnus. I don't know that I'm familiar with her. That name doesn't even ring a bell. When it comes to journalists, I just like the Joy Reids of the world. I like the Don Lemons of the world. And honestly, that's about it. I used to be more in tune, but after CNN just like fired everybody, I no longer care. And Abby, she's an embarrassment to me, in my opinion. This cat is over here by my door. I have to use the bathroom. I'm not equipped for 2-hour live. Okay, so seems like people have been talking a lot about what she's been saying.
Deborah, have you found the BBC? I would like to say it has been the privilege of my career to serve as the CEO of BBC News and to work with our brilliant team.
So she stepped down. So someone who stepped down is now saying like, hey, I'm moving in a different direction and maybe you guys should take heed, because what we know as what traditional media news was once before is now being oversaturated or taken over or overturned by content creators. Paramount is preparing to integrate video podcasts directly to its streaming platform. Okay, so Netflix set the standard. Now Paramount is ready to tap in. So the bigger story, podcasts are no longer being treated like audio products. They're becoming premium entertainment IP. IP, if you don't know, is intellectual property. So I did not know about that. Let's go ask. Y'all, hold on, because I did not prepare to have to use the restroom in the middle of my live. Yeah, Princeton, come here. I'm about to put Princeton to the task. He's going to entertain you guys. Prince, come here. Come say hi to my friends. Prince stayed home because he has conferences at his school all week, so they're conducting that. Mommy has to use the bathroom. Leave brother's picture alone. Can you talk to my friends and tell them hi? Because I got to use the bathroom. Tell them about everything you want them to know, and I'll be right back. Here you go. You got the podcast now.
Hi.
Do your rap. Eat your fries. Anything.
Oh yeah. Nana. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. I got this. Those are.
What else, Chris?
So this is Pierre.
Where's brother?
I don't know. So I don't know. So I said I don't know.
You don't know where your family is? Where's uncle?
I don't know.
What?
So this is Pierre. Wait.
You don't know where your family is. Okay, well,
This
thank
is
you.
Pierre. This is another.
Okay, thank you. You can go take the fries now. Yesterday, you guys, I did a post. I think it was on Threads and in my Facebook group, the podcast piece. And the question was, I think with terminology, the lines are getting blurred because people are integrating between or using these words interchangeably: podcasting, podcasting, and live streaming. So which one are you? I would love to know that answer. Are you a live streamer? Because like right now, I'm live streaming. I'm across multiple platforms, and this is not going up on any of my RSS feeds. So even though I have 2 podcasts, these are not going to go on my podcast feed. But this is considered a live stream. And I think live streamers are very popular right now, even more than some of the podcasters, because like every part of their life is just exposed. They're constantly on live 24/7 or for multiple hours in a day. They're doing everyday things. Like you see, people are traveling and live streaming at the same time. They're going into different establishments and they're making purchases on live stream. They're just doing their everyday regular activities like me eating, washing dishes, doing laundry. They're taking you on the journey with them in real time. That is a live streamer. Podcasting is audio on demand on an RSS feed. Podcasting, same thing. It's video on demand, also on an RSS feed. Because, Spotify allows for you to do videos. YouTube allows for you to do videos now. And Substack, same thing. So what are you? Let me know in the comment section. Are you a live streamer, a podcaster, or a vodcaster? I would love to hear your remarks. Love to read your remarks for that matter. LinkedIn is aggressively expanding creator monetization with plans for thousands of creator-led events annually. LinkedIn wants a bigger role in the creator economy next to YouTube, Patreon, and Spotify. Okay, so LinkedIn is coming for YouTube, Patreon, and Spotify. It's not like LinkedIn is not saying we're competing with Instagram or Pinterest. LinkedIn says we are up there with YouTube, Patreon, and Spotify. That's huge. Scotland's podcast scene is exploding. The first ever Scottish Podcast Awards launched this year amid major growth in Gen Z podcast consumption. Okay, Scotland. I love that for you. So now it's like just becoming this thing that we're doing all over the world. I love that. OpenAI launched the OpenAI Deployment Company, a major initiative designed to place AI engineers directly inside businesses to accelerate AI adoption at scale. I want to know more about that. Let's ask ChatGPT. Tell us more, chat. Hey, chat. So I was just reading something that says OpenAI launched the OpenAI Deployment Company. Can you tell us a bit more about the company and how it is helping engineers?
OpenAI has launched the OpenAI Deployment Company to help businesses integrate AI into real operations. It's majority owned by OpenAI and valued around $10 billion. They embed engineers inside client companies to make AI systems work smoothly. This move lets OpenAI go beyond selling models. They're now helping companies reshape workflows with AI.
So what's the future, do you think, of that?
Honestly, it signals that AI is moving from the hype phase into the making real impact phase. Companies won't just dabble, they'll be reshaping entire workflows. For people like you, it means staying nimble. There's going to be demand for helping teams adapt. Also, as AI becomes embedded in every industry, the key will be not just tech, but the human side, training, guiding, and ensuring it's all used ethically. The future will be AI plus human expertise, hand in hand.
Okay, thank you.
You're always welcome. Anytime you need to bounce around ideas or just want a fresh perspective, I'm here. Keep doing your thing.
All right. So AI consulting firm Tomorrow is repeatedly being acquired by OpenAI. Okay. So then tell me more about this TOMORO.
OpenAI has launched a new subsidiary called the OpenAI Deployment Company, which is focused on
No. I'm asking about AI consulting firm Tomorrow.
The AI consulting firm Tomorrow was acquired by OpenAI to help build the OpenAI Deployment Company. Tomorrow was founded in 2023 and is known for working with major clients like Virgin Atlantic and Tesco. While details on the firm remain limited, they focus on deploying AI solutions for large enterprises. This acquisition suggests OpenAI is expanding its direct AI deployment services in big business.
Okay. All right, you guys. So that's pretty much all of the AI and podcasting news for today. And I still have a little bit more time left for the live just because I'm going 2 hours. And like I said, this is not meant to be a strict agenda. It's meant to be kind of loose and just checking in. You guys can leave a voice note. You guys can jump on the live stream. You guys can donate. Go to plantopodcast.com. So earlier I ate my first half. So this is also a mukbang. A Go Philly cheesesteak, pepper cheesesteak sandwich, garlic fries, and a pineapple Fanta. What is your favorite food? I was explaining that mine is all things seafood. Seafood. And then I love pasta. I love crab royal. I love spicy. If I had to pick spicy, savory, or sweet, spicy, sweet, and then savory. Okay, we got some comments coming in. How do you remedy the use of more AI and the concern of water supply? Right, that's a good question. Because the way we're using water is crazy. I don't even know the numbers, but it's high. It's very high. And I am of belief that even though I take advantage of these things, I do believe that everything we've put in place to convenience us has caused a greater inconvenience. So it's almost counterproductive. From microwavable foods, all of the radiation and heat in our food, not good, to how we grow food. Using technology is now like you can literally graph out food and create fake food. It's a scary time, but I always go back to nothing new under the sun. Everything comes back full circle. Things balance out. I do believe things are going to get worse before they get better. So that's a good question. But what I'm going to do, because I don't have the answers, Sway, I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Chat, how do you think we remedy the use of more AI with the concern of the water supply?
A lot more dates.
The key is making AI infrastructure more efficient and sustainable. Companies can invest in data centers powered by renewable energy and use advanced cooling techniques like recycled water or immersion cooling to reduce water usage. On a larger scale, aligning AI growth with global sustainability goals like using AI itself to optimize energy and water management, is crucial. In short, we push for tech innovation while keeping environmental impact at the forefront of the conversation and action.
And we don't even have a good handle on global warming. And now we have to also combat this thing about the water supply. How long do you think we can actually last as the country that we are now before things kind of go awry?
It's understandable to feel concerned, but it's not all doom and gloom. We do have time if we act smart. How long we have depends on how quickly we adapt. The good news is that awareness is growing and technology is evolving. If we ramp up sustainable practices, renewables, water recycling, efficiency gains, we can mitigate these risks. It's about pivoting now. The sooner we invest in solutions, the longer we preserve our future. So we're not at a tipping point yet, but we do need to keep pushing for action.
I know she can still hear me, but she's lying. It is doom and gloom. Very much so. And the fact that more of us are not concerned is a problem. But I feel like there's just so many things to worry about. It's just too much. Everybody's head is on a swivel. So certain things go under the radar. So I know that didn't answer your question, but it's a great question for us to all think about. A good hot chicken wing. Hey! My favorite is the hot lemon pepper chicken wing, fried hard. So hot flavor and lemon pepper flavor made a baby and fried hard. Yeah. So I asked, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite dish? If you were stuck on an island and they said you can only have this one meal over and over again, what would it be? Mine is probably something seafood and or seafood and tacos. Seafood and taco, baby. Seafood and tacos. Seafood and taco, baby. Seafood and tacos. Let's see. Let's spend the last bit of time. I was going to give you guys all my life story, but I can pretty much sum up my life story in a few minutes, and then we'll make some songs on Suno. So, DaniMarie, born and raised here in Tacoma, Washington, born and raised to a military family. My mother and father married and divorced by the time I was 2 years old. My father moved away back to his home state in Michigan. I believe Detroit. Detroit what? Detroit what? I always get confused between Detroit or Flint, whether my dad was born and raised in Detroit or Flint, Michigan. But our family is spread out. That side of the family is spread out over there. So my dad moved back to Detroit, Michigan, and my mother stayed here in Washington State by way of Chicago, Illinois. She came out here and joined the military, stayed out here, decided that this was a better opportunity for her. So she raised my brother and I. My brother and I are about 4 years apart. She raised us in church with the church family. We stayed out here. She raised us as a single parent. Working in the military, serving. And man, we lived in Germany for a very short stint when she had to be shipped away. We lived in Stuttgart for a short stint. I was very young. My brother was much younger. But before, she basically went to Germany ahead of us to set up shop. And so we stayed behind. We stayed with this family who ultimately didn't take care of us and didn't treat us well. So they left us at the church door. And my brother's cousin, who has been our aunt, basically came from where she was at out there in Markham, Illinois. Ooh, this is a big one. A big whopper. Okay, hold on, you guys. I'm going to share my YouTube. Come back to my story in just a minute. I'm going to share my Host City Hustle, the mixtape, Host City Hustle mixtape. Let's go to Host City Hustle on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe to us over there. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to come back in a few minutes. Thank you for the birthday wishes. A round of applause for my birthday. All right. My son says, Mom, I have to use the bathroom. I forgot my son was not in school today, y'all, when I said I wanted to do this 2-hour stream. But he is such a good sport because he hasn't really bothered me at all. I'll finish my story in just a minute. Stick around. This is your short interlude. I made this mixtape using Suno. We're going to come back and end this out strong. Make some birthday music on Suno, but just give me a second. Hey. Well, I thought I was sharing. I know for sure I was sharing at some point. Hey, because it asked me which screen I wanted to share and all that. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Anyways, so what I was trying to do is share this playlist that I created for my Host City Hustle podcast on YouTube. And what I did was I created a video loop where it's just the downtown Seattle area with the FIFA billboard playing in the background. And then I made a whole bunch of songs on Suno. And that's about an hour-long playlist, if that. So sometimes those playlists, if you want to create like a faceless account, those playlists really do well. If you create like a lo-fi playlist for YouTube and just continue to put out playlists that are like that, you can start to see an uptick in your subscribers for people who are interested in lo-fi playlists. Whenever times they're working, they're in deep thought, they want to meditate, lo-fi playlists do very well. Anyways, I was talking about my background a little bit. So born into a military family, my mother and father split when I was 2. He moved on. He started another family. We all love them. My stepmother, love her. My sister, love her. My step siblings, love them. And when my mom decided to stay out here, she basically grew us up into a church family, into a church home. And that was our community for a very long time. I grew up just always wanting to give back and support. Like the first time I ever volunteered was at a nursing home, and I was like 12 or 13 years old. Then I started to like get around different people. The energy started to shift. I became like very, 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 very rambunctious, a misfit. So I ended up going to Job Corps at 16 years old, had a difficult time acclimating and getting used to it, but ultimately I did graduate in 2004, which was supposed to be my original graduating class had I stayed with my high school at Washington High School, but I ended up going to Job Corps instead. Still graduated on time. I graduated with my driver's license, my GED, and I got my high school diploma, even though you don't need both. And then I got my certificate of completion for office assistance and accounting. Then I went to further my education and I took baby steps. So then I got my human services degree back in like 2009, 2010. And then I got my bachelor's. And then I got my master's in 2015. So 10 years ago was the last time I was in graduate school. And no, I didn't. I tried to do stuff in my field, but that did not work out. Then I said I was not going to be a teacher in the public education system. I mean, I've done a lot of bad things in my lifetime, from stealing cars to fighting to going to jail to becoming homeless to having multiple kids to I didn't finally have a child until I was 34, going 35, and I had Pierre. And at that time, I met the children of my father at work. I met my children's father at work. We met when I came back from Las Vegas. So I moved to Las Vegas back in like 2017, 2018, or 2019. I came back somewhere in there, but I know I came back in 2019, and then I started having children, and then I stayed here, and I'm trying to play catch up ever since. Lost my job during the pandemic. In this season of my life, I'm learning how to self-mother and heal from all of the trauma, the traumatic stuff, all of the stuff that has happened to me. I'm learning how to find a way to heal from it all over again. I think I probably deal with some attachment issues, like with having the emotional absence of my mom because she was sacrificing so much and working so hard. She just wasn't emotionally present. And then the physical absence of my dad, I just kind of turned to the world and the streets and kicking it, partying. There was a time where I was doing like some drugs. So I was really big in like ecstasy for a short while. I would be popping pills and drinking and doing it at the same time. I was wild fighting. Liquor made me so like angry and so dark, cussing people out and just trying to beef with everybody. I've been jumped before because of my mouth. I'm still the same at the core, the same tough girl who is waiting for somebody to say the wrong thing before I just like knock them out. But then I'm also trying to be a reformed person. So sometimes I'm not as vocal or anymore, or I'm learning to find my voice all over again after being disappointed by the world, after being ridiculed, after getting into so much trouble with law enforcement, with school because of my mouth. I just learned to like be quiet. So I'm not as flamboyant or flip at the mouth like I was, because I've gotten into so much trouble for my mouth. There is a very stubborn and dark side to all of us, but to me, I can only speak for myself. But I do think we all have a piece of that somewhere in us, especially if people rub us the wrong way. So I basically have been a hermit for a very long time, especially since the pandemic, with trying to start all over again, start from scratch. Not having the same group of friends that I grew up with, because, you know, where did it all lead me in the grand scheme of things? So that's me in a nutshell. There's a certain mystique-ness to me. There's a certain jovial spirit to me. There's a certain dark side to me. There's a certain, you guys got to go back and watch some of the episodes on the Mother and Daughter Duo podcast. Like there was a point that I said, did the fact that my father was not actively involved have anything to do with my promiscuous behavior when I grew up as a young adult? So like I'm fluid. I'm still kind of flamboyant. I'm still like no holds bar, but at the same time, I keep a lot of that close to my chest and tucked away in my back pocket, because I've learned there is a time and a space for everything. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell, you guys. For those of you guys who don't know, you got my story in a nutshell. I'm not who I used to be, and many of us should all be evolving. Like we should not be the same person that we grew up as. We should be reformed as best as possible. But at the core of us, you know, we still have a lot of stuff that we need to work on. We still have a lot of things from our childhood that we've never healed from. We still have a lot of questions that will never go answered, but we have to learn to be okay with who we are and how God shaped us. But now, you know, the people that I care about them. I'm loyal to the people that I care about. Sometimes it is difficult for me because of how I was raised, basically doing a lot of things on my own and carrying a lot of the load by myself, and then just being very stubborn, and like figuring things out the hard way. Then that's basically how I am as an adult. Sometimes I don't tap into my community as often. I'm not as chummy, and I don't have a lot of girlfriends. I'm not all like a girl's girl, like that needs a lot of hanging out or a lot of people around me to feel validated. I am cool by myself. How do I know that? Because I've been by myself. I'm okay with my own thoughts. I know how to entertain myself. I know how to be at peace. There was a time where I was out in the world, never came home, literally always out in the streets, partying every day of the week, drugs, fast life, a lot of cricket stuff too. We all have a past, a lot of stuff that, you know, I'm not proud of, but it made me who I am. And now I'm just here to like be a connector. I'm here to be a person who just gives, no gatekeeping, to the point that if I see something that you could be doing differently and I know that there's a better way, I'm going to try to tell you. Certain people never met me a day in their life, but I'll be in their inbox praying for them if God told me to. You know, that's just me. Like, I don't need to be in the limelight necessarily to feel okay as a person. I don't need a lot of people to affirm me for me to be happy. I don't care what the outside looks like. The condition or state of mind that I'm in is always feeling at whole and at peace with myself. So that's one thing I'm proud about in my 40 years of life, is that I'm still very loyal. I'm still very positive. I still have a good handle on life. Like I'm not totally crazy despite all of the things that I've been through. I still have a good shoulder on my head. I still have a good head on my shoulders. I still have goodness on the inside of me. even though I've been through a lot of stuff that could harden a person and make them very hard. Even though I do have a very hard exterior, there's still a lot of good in me. So I'm grateful of that. If I never, just at this time, at 40, just family over everything, learning to appreciate the smallest things in life. Like, I'm good with just dancing around in my house with my kids, making silly games and activities. I could be doing that for a very long time. Not that I like need my kids to be my crutch or to be my savior. I know God has given me people to borrow, but they're not mine. I have to release them back to the world. So they're not my crutch, but I can be content with just my kids. My kids currently are filling my cup. I know that there's other things that have to fill my cup. And so I try to find those things by every day going on a self-exploration, every day talking to myself, every day trying to sharpen myself, every day trying to learn. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. That carried me to my 2:00 hour. That's it. That's all. But let's see if I can try to quickly come up with a song before I end. So if you haven't joined Suno, I would highly recommend joining Suno. If you are a content creator or a podcaster, Suno, you can make your own music. So I made a song called Paper Plate Girls Rule the World, because one day I was making an omelet, and instead of putting my beautiful omelet on a nice, beautiful plates, I put it on a paper plate, and I still felt so proud and happy about myself at the end of the day. So that's what I mean. Like, I don't need material things. I don't need people to validate me. And I know that's a hard thing for some people to say. Like, a lot of other people probably need self-validation or the opinions of others. I'm not swayed by the opinions of others. People have been very mean and dark to me, but I'm still a cool person at the end of the day. That's what I'm most proud about. So like making that song, Paper Plate Girls Rule the World, that was so funny to me. Let's see if I can find it. And then I'm going to try to play a birthday song. I'm going to create one and play it. Paper Plate. Here we go. So Suno's good. Again, if you're a content creator or podcaster and you need to make some music that is commercial or royalty free, Suno's good for your podcast intros. It's good for, like, if you want background noise for your live stream. Suno. So I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to play Paper Plate Girls Rule the World, and then I'm going to try to create another song, and then I'm going to be out. So here it is.
Paper plate goes through the world. 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 In my backseat, clock the girl. Paper plate goes through the world. Like bitches that on my leader up. I really run as a peanut rut. All that I bitch in me to rock. All of my niggas are peanut rut. Ollie, oh, Lolly, 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 oh. Paper plate goes through the world. Paper plate goes through the world. Paper plate goes through the world. Now in my taxi, like chocolate girl. Paper plate goes through the world. Paper plate goes through the world. Now nobody asking with a man. Then I get it up and with a man. Now nobody does it with a man. Then I get it up and with a man. Now nobody else it with a man. Paper plate, my leg goes. Grab me up, and then no. Paper plate goes through the world.
Paper Plate Girls Rule the World. Paper plate girl world. Okay. All right, let's go back. So there's this song that I made, but I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going to try to do it here. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Perfect world. By uploading. Okay. Oh. I don't know how this is going to go. Think I got shot by a Cupid's arrow, 'cause it feels like I'm falling in love. I never felt this way before. That's why I'm confident that he is the one. This man looked into my heart. His love is pure. He understands me. He knows the time when I need his attention and when he should let me be. He promised to never step out on me. Said it didn't make a lot of sense. He recognized where he can get it all from. That's why he comes back to the one he's with. I'm in love. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm in love. This time I'm completely sure. I'm in love. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm in love. And I'll tell it wherever I go. Okay, maybe you're not going to do all of that. Maybe you can, like me and the boys one day had a song that came to our mind, and so we did a little snippet of it, and so they remixed the song. Or maybe you can sing the song like I did. But that song I made early 20s, and it's just been in my spirit ever since. But now we have tools like Suno that can help you bring your music and songs to life. So,
Mom, can I go outside?
Okay, I'll take you outside. 1 second. The C. And then after that, we're out of here. Remix and edit. Oh, well, I guess. Hold on. Because, was this it? Remix of my song. Create a song using the lyrics attached that is soulful and R&B. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. But I feel like I didn't have to. I will purchase it, but I feel like I didn't have to purchase it before. So I gave them the lyrics. You can add the instrumentals. You can add the background. And then you can tell them what the description is. And then it will create a song for you. I've made jingles before. So like I have one in here. Let's see if I can search it. From my library podcast. Tune in, we'll plan the podcast with DaniMarie and podcast peeps. Oh, I don't know what it's called.
Peeps.
You tuned in to Plant a Podcast with the DaniMarie and podcast peeps. Oh, the boys know it now. You know it? We're going to go outside in just a minute. I'm waiting to hear the final song that I created. I don't know the song title. Tuned in to Plant a Podcast with DaniMarie and there's a lot. I made a lot of songs.
Oh, Danny. I don't know the other part.
You don't know the other part?
Nope.
That was pretty much it. It was just a jingle. Let's see. That's the song we made, Pepperoni Pizza. That's so funny. All right, so let me share my screen again. I think we have a final recording.
I heard her.
You heard it?
Yeah.
Hilarious. Pepperoni pizza, pepperoni pizza. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just made this song. You guys heard me singing.
Think I got touched by a wave of heaven, 'cause it feels like I'm rising in love. I've never trusted my heart like this. Why I'm certain now that he is the one. This man looks into my soul. His love is kind. He understands me. He feels the moment when I need his presence, and when he should set me free. He swore his promise to stand beside me, said his heart would never drift.
Woo!
He understands where he can give and receive love. That's why he holds on to the one he's with. I'm in love. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm in love. This time I'm completely sure.
Okay, we gotta work on it, but that's basically what I gave him. That Suno created and recreated this song. But you know what? Let's do one more. Today is my birthday. I am 40 years old today, and I'm feeling okay. Everybody say, every day be okay with the way you are. You're a superstar. No matter how old, you can do and go where you want to go. And I'm just freestyling because I don't have the words. But if I was turning this into a rap song, you already know, boy. Boom, 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 boom. You got this, it's your birthday, here's your kiss. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. You got this, it's your birthday, here's your kiss. You don't miss, it's your birthday. You look good today, everything's gonna be okay. Don't you worry, you heard what I said. It's your birthday. Yeah. Let's see. Continue, because I don't know. Then we're gonna copy and paste this part and put it in the song description, perhaps. Generating the description, acapella, R&B freestyle. You guys heard me singing, and now it's gonna come up with a song. And this is the power of Suno. And I did not have to pay a single thing. Apparently, I have 500 credits, but the more you pay, the more you unlock the features. But this is my birthday song, y'all. I just made it on the fly just to show you how cool Suno really is. What I've learned is that you can create music on Suno, upload it to DistroKid, I think, and then you can also license your music. And so sometimes you hear people putting their music up on Instagram and Facebook, and then you can use that as a trending audio sound. So that's how people are making their money with Suno. Or you can create, like I said, your faceless YouTube accounts. It's a number of things that you can do. So this is almost done. Hold on. Hold on. We got to share the screen again. No, you did not. Just put the... Really?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Think I got shot by a Cupid's arrow, 'cause it feels like I'm falling.
Wait, didn't you just hear me do a recording of my birthday song? I like that a cappella though. Hold on. I don't know how this is gonna go. Think I got shot by a Cupid's arrow, 'cause it feels like I'm falling in love. No.
What's this doing here?
Oh, my birthday card. Thank you. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 do, 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 Well, it's my birthday today. You asked how old I am. I said 40, and I know it's okay, 'cause age is better. Because you grow wiser when you age. And today I feel great. So you know it's my birthday, and I'm doing this off the fly. This is so impromptu, I don't even know how to rhyme, but I'm doing this for my peeps. Today is the day that you celebrate with me, 'cause it's my birthday. I'm 40 years old. God has been good, and I'm feeling I can go 40 more, and I'm so happy singing off key. It's my birthday, and I appreciate my podcast peeps. And that's it. Okay. Come on. What you got for me, Suno? We're doing this in real time, Suno. You got to impress the people. Okay, I got to move my car, so I really got to go. Here I come.
I want to go to the bike.
Y'all heard the rhyme. It said, because I was using basically Music Soul Child, that it was not going to create the song for me. So be careful and mindful. But I gotta go, y'all. I'm over my time. My kid said he wants to go outside. Y'all was rocking with me for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Let me look at these final comments. Thank you. Paper Plate Girls Were the World. Let me go grab it real quick, so you guys could go show that song some love on Suno and play around with Suno, because Suno is a lot of fun. But this was my 40th birthday live stream. I had so much fun with you all today. Let me go see if I can find Paper Plate Girls again and then share that with you. So it's now going to be in the chat, and I will talk with you all later. I'll go back and read some of your comments, but I appreciate you rocking with me. Happy 40th birthday to me. You all are appreciated. I will see you soon.
Is that money?
Hey,
but it would be nothing without a woman.
hey. Started out riding, man with the geezers when this shit didn't want to talk about the chick. All of them talk, my bad ass still ain't listen, was living, but taught me the ways that they